All right, let's play a little Carolina Panthers trivia. Tell me what person has interviewed the most Carolina Panther players one-on-one that doesn't work for the organization? Yeah, it's me. I'm Chris Jenkins. I'm with Charlotte Vibe, and I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel where each and every week I interview players one-on-one. And the cool thing about it is I always say I work for the fans. So I always take questions from you guys, ideas from you all, and I put that into my interviews with these players every week. And something very fun at the end of the interview is I do an activity like Office Olympics, just something really fun. And I don't always win, but that's not the point. Just so you guys can get the chance to see these players as people, not just as guys with helmets on running around on Sundays. It's really cool. So if I have your interest, please click subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know what you think. What's going on, world? Chris Jenkins here, and I'm not going to talk too much yet because I'm having audio problems. Of course, I'm having guests on, and I want to make sure that I get my audio right, because if I don't, then you're going to hear echo from the guys that I have coming on to the show. So give me a minute to make sure that I get all of this correct with my audio, because I can't hear it through my headphones, and I got other settings that I could try to fix that, but I don't want to do it yet. Yeah, it's been a long Monday. Give me just a second, if everybody can, just to fool around here, and then we'll jump right on into this. Even though you can see I have on headphones, I don't hear the music through my headphones. And that's my issue. Live video, man, so this is what happens sometimes. You get things like this that go on and kind of wreak havoc on you. And other than restart my computer, which I really don't want to do. All right, so we're going to try something else here so I can get this show going again. I apologize for these issues here. We're going to try to click this right here, which I really didn't want to use. What's going on, everybody? Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, cover the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, here with your Ask Me Your Carolina Panthers questions edition, special edition, as I'm going to have Rashad and Dave join me from Panther Nation Podcast. And before I bring those guys on, just want to get you guys up to speed really quickly with some of the things that happened today. Hopefully I'll be able to find this. I feel like I'm going to have every little blooper possible today as I get ready to talk to you guys. But also as I get ready to try to find all of my notes from today. This is an interactive show, all right? So what that means is I want you guys to join in on the show, all right? So I'm going to put the link out there in a second. And when I do, if you have a question, love interactivity with our subscribers, with our supporters. So I'm going to put the link out there, pin it. You guys can click on it. And whether you're on a laptop, whether you're on a mobile phone, you can come on and ask a question. Now, I will ask that you realize this will be the format for today. If you come on the show, say your name, state your question or your event, if you have an event. And then at that point, that's it. We're going to log you off. And then me and some of my special hosts will entertain whatever it is that you have to say today. So a few things real quick from our conversation with Coach Matt Rhule. We'll get to talk to him on Mondays. And the first question was about that 4th and 1 play from this weekend. You know, yesterday after the game, Coach mentioned that Cam did not make the right decision. And today he stated that after some further review, you know, heard from the booth, heard from New York, after further review, he sees why Cam did what he did. And, you know, they wish they could have that play back. Jeff Nixon wishes they could do something different. But it was what it was. That's what happened. And that's the news from it today. Gave us an update somewhat on the kicking situation with Zane Gonzalez, saying that they have not received back the official medical diagnosis for Zane. But to him, it looks serious, but they'll know for sure later today. So I'm still trying to find out that for you all, as well as Sam Darnold. I'm still trying to find out today. Sam was supposed to have his medical evaluation done and still trying to see if we can get some results from that today. If I don't get that today, then I can assure you guys that that'll come at the latest of Wednesday, may even come out tomorrow. And they're going to try to get some more kickers, obviously. He said GM Scott Fitterer was on the calls today trying to get us another kicker in, and might even have 2 kickers, which, I don't know why he didn't make Lackland do the kickoff. So I understand for the field goals, but it seemed like this guy had the opportunity to say, nah, coach, y'all don't pay me enough for that. I just want to do punts today. Because I feel like a punter, you've been kicking a ball all your life. You can't tell me you've never had to do kickoffs in your life. And would have been better than Zeisler, who did respectable for what he was called to do. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. So, hey, keep the questions coming. I'm going to start going through them. But let me go ahead and without further ado, because I hope I don't have any technical issues. I wish I had some sound effects. It's coming soon. Lots of improvements to the visual effects that you see when you're watching our show coming up. But first, and if you guys can, don't say I'm picking one or the other. If I can show you my screen, you're going to see he's the first one up. Okay, that's why I'm going to say it like this. So without further ado, let's see. Rashad, say something.
What up? What up? Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I can hear you. Do you hear echo?
No, you sound perfect. Everything's good.
Hey, let's hope that it stays this way. Hey, I'm glad that you're joining me, man. I appreciate so far one half of Panther Nation Podcast coming on the show. And hopefully if I hit this second button correctly, we will have, in no particular order.
Nah, you chose the right dude to go first. You chose the right dude to go first.
Did it happen? Did it happen? There we go.
What's going on, Chris?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in.
Absolutely.
Hey, I shaved today, Dave, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't because Dave don't care.
Nah, man. If I told you I should do it was no shave November. Now it's like no win. No, I'm not gonna shave till we get a win, which might be a while. So I might need to make my decisions very, very
soon.
soon.
Viking out in these streets.
Yeah, nah, man. Eventually it'll stop growing. It always does, especially on top.
Hey, Dave, I thought about it as well yesterday. I said, should I not shave until I get to 5,000 subscribers, or should I not shave until we get a win? But as you see, I had to trim it up. I can't do it.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't have to go back to work till January. I'll shave by then.
Man. All right, so guys, we're gonna go through some of these comments really quick. I'm gonna give the shout outs that we normally do. Ali Broderick, I don't know if I say his name right. Let me scan through these questions real quick. Here we go. Let's get some love out there. Adrian Langley, what's good, family? PNP in here strong this evening.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Lots of good comments here. So, let me do this because I told people that I'll let them come on the show. So let me go ahead and put this comment out there. So anybody that wants to be on the show, bam, I just put the link out there for you to see. Click on it, come on the show, say your question, and we will entertain it. So let's go ahead and get into this again. I am getting used to having all these screens and people on the screen, so don't laugh at me as I go through this. I got 3 things that I want us all to talk about, and then we're going to do a little freestyle stuff. You guys not tired from being online today?
Never.
No.
Yo, we go hard. The hardest working YouTubers out there.
I need to get some secrets from you guys on how you do it, man. I was trying to take a nap before I got on here. I don't think you guys took one.
Nah.
No naps.
Nah, not today.
Hey, man, you know what? I did something wrong though. I assumed that everybody knew about the legendary YouTube channel that you guys are on. But let's go ahead and formally tell them, whichever one you guys want to tell them about what you guys do.
Yep. So this is Panther Nation Podcast, man. We are currently the largest independent YouTubers covering the Panthers right now. So if you don't know, Panther Nation Podcast, search it up on YouTube. We've been active since 2017, constantly growing, cover the draft. We cover all the fantasy content and, of course, the Carolina Panthers and some other news, notes, and nuggets around the league when it comes to that. But yeah, man, come through, search Panther Nation Podcast on YouTube, and you'll see us. Hit that subscribe button for your boys.
Hey, and you guys know this. Let's go ahead, and there's a link. So I'm gonna walk y'all through it, right? So you got people on their phones, right? Turn your phone like this, to make it a little bit easier for you, hit the little button where you see the description, and you will see a link to go to the Panther Nation Podcast YouTube channel. These guys do more YouTube than I do, honestly. I'm just be real with you. They do quite a bit. And they're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. Right. So if you enjoy the show tonight, which I'm telling you, you will, go ahead, click on that link. Like I said, if you're on the phone this way, just turn this way. If you're on the computer, it's easy. But click on the link in the description. I got a link that'll take you right to their channel. Hit that subscribe button. Help them get to 15,000 subscribers, which they are extremely deserving of. All right. So I do go out of order when I get somebody that wants to be on. I do have somebody that wants to be on. Kenneth, I see that you're there. Are you? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready? He gave me the thumbs up. So, fellas, we're about to go ahead and just get interactive. We'll jump back and get to the things I have. So, without further ado, Kenneth, go ahead and announce yourself and say what you got.
Yeah, my name's Kenneth, and my question is: if Sam Darnold is active to the regular roster, will Matt Rhule cut or release or just inactivate Cam Newton?
You talking about during the season or postseason?
During the season.
All right, Kenneth. Hey, appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks so much. We're gonna answer that for you. All right. Open season.
No. I mean, I think Sam being the starter is going to be enough. I don't see them releasing Cam if they make the decision to bring Sam back as the starter for the remainder of the season. Because I could see a scenario where this could happen sooner than later. I could see it happen on Sunday if he's ready. Right? Like I'm going to be honest, man. We both saw the same presser. You were in there,
bro.
I heard it too. I don't know if you caught
your question. Did you catch it, Chris?
Did you catch it?
I caught it.
Bro, what is he talking about? When Cam was here, like we speaking about Cam as if he's in past tense, like he's gone already. Like, so I don't understand kind of the and maybe I'm guilty for overanalyzing some of these press conferences, and I listen between the lines and read between the lines, but we most certainly heard that, and we were live when it happened, and the chat blew up when he said when Cam Newton was here. Like, we heard that, bro, and I don't like. We don't want to we don't go through this a second time, right? We went through this already, and. Listen, we know a healthy Cam Newton gives us the best option, or he is the best option when it comes to the season. Better than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is not it. And so I understand from their perspective, they have to put Sam out there because he's going to be here next year, and you kind of got to see what you got. So I get that. But when it comes to winning, and maybe it's weird because I can't tell whether they're in evaluation mode or they're trying to get the best players on the field. Like they kind of talk in circles when it's around when it comes to that. So go ahead, Dave.
They're not mathematically eliminated from playoff contention yet. So they're trying their best to win games. And at some point, Matt Rhule currently probably thinks that Sam Darnold gives him the best chance to win because he knows the offense. So like and that's just in my eyes. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm hearing in these pressers. Like, and it goes back to what we talked about all throughout the season about the coddling of Sam. Like, and I think Rhule's right. Cam doesn't mind the accountability, but we're seeing how everybody else is getting this accountability, but Sam Darnold has not. It took him a long time to give Sam Darnold some accountability.
Yeah. And I think Kenneth's question was, will Cam be active or whatever if Sam is?
No, he thinks whether or not he's going to be active or if they release him. And I think Cam is going to be on the roster, even if it's going to be on the active roster, even if Sam gets.
Yeah, so I go with Sam's. Wow, Cam, Sam, I'm here. I am getting tongue-tied. Yeah. See, that nap didn't do me justice, man. With Sam being, if he were to be active, then I do see that Cam Newton will be active. And a little extra sprinkle in there is that I hope that they will still use Cam for the running dynamic that he certainly has to undeniably offer to this team in short yardage and goal line situations. Not saying what's going to happen, but if that were to happen. So appreciate that comment. Hey, again, I already put the comment out there. If you guys want to join the show, just click on the link. Love to have you come on, be interactive, and take part in the show. So now we're just going to go ahead and go into some of the things that I want to talk about. First one. There you go. Put it up on the screen. The future of Matt Rhule. Thoughts? Will he be here next year? Will he make it through the rest of the season?
Transparency time.
Always.
Earlier in the
Earlier
in the season, I had a wager with another podcaster about what would happen if we have 6 or less wins. I thought 6 or less wins would get Matt Rhule out of here. Right. That's what I thought. I thought 6 or less wins would get Matt Rhule out of here. But then with the firing of Joe Brady, the return of Cam Newton, I feel like that might have bought him a little bit more time. So at this point, my scenario is it doesn't matter what happens at the end of this year. If we don't win another game, he'll be back to start his 3rd season as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. But I think he has a short leash. I think if the bye week ends up being early in the season next year, if he doesn't show any type of level of progress or any type of improvement, they're going to probably fire him in the bye week coming up next season. But I think folks thinking, and I know that some folks have been changing their mind about how this is going to go, like me, because I'm going to end up losing this bet, which is unfortunate. But but at this stage, it's a tough sell for me to see David Tepper pull the trigger and let him go at the end of this year.
Yeah, so I feel like Matt's going to make it through the rest of the season. And I do say this, though. For me, let's say before Sunday, I said, man, unless it just was atrocious, this guy's going to make it to the end of the season. Like, they just have to get blown out. And to me, yesterday wasn't one of those blown out kind of games. But there's so much negative noise from Matt Rhule running this team right now and then you start to see more. It's like people are pulling out more and more stats about the struggles of this team. And it's starting to seem like it may be becoming insurmountable. I don't know if I changed my opinion completely. We do still have Tampa twice and the Saints once, but I do feel like he should be able to finish out the rest of the season. And as Dave mentioned, get the start of that 3rd season, have a very, very short leash. I mean, as soon as the season ends, you want to start to see some chatter about some changes that are coming and some improvements are coming. And yeah, again, Dave said the thing about firing the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. That was a helpful thing. No, it ain't the complete answer, but that was a helpful thing. You do want to see a coach make tough decisions and getting rid of some of his personnel to survive and continue to turn his team around. So that puts you up next, Rashad, if you got a comment on that.
So I got a question for you, Chris. So you in the building. Do you get like a sense of what's going on in regards, like, do you have is there some rumblings in the room, like, about Matt Rhule? Because usually you guys can kind of get the vibe, like, no pun intended, or all pun intended.
But I like it. Come on, give it to me.
You get the vibe that some of these things are going downhill. Like, do you get a sense that that's the case here?
Nah, not able to get that sense. Right now we still are in this COVID world where we don't get to be in the locker room and kind of see stuff and hear stuff more often than what we do now. It's really like we're sequestered. We're all in this one room that's far from where we normally meet, and then they just bring people to us and then they take them away. So in that realm now, I'm not able to get any other vibes about what may be going on with him.
All right. So now to answer the question, future of Matt Rhule. Now, I've got to separate. I do this all the time, right? I got to separate what my opinion versus what I think the Panthers are going to do, right? Because my opinion is that I feel like Matt Rhule is not the answer. And I feel like, again, credit to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got a college coach in here, didn't work out, and they got rid of him sooner rather than later. It's no point in delaying the inevitable, right? So my personal opinion is I feel like Matt Rhule is not the guy. I feel like I've seen enough from this coaching staff to understand where they are. They don't adjust well. When the game plan works, it works and it's great. When it doesn't work, and they get smacked in the mouth, they can't adjust, right? And I've seen it time and time again, going back to last year. Now this year, I haven't seen any improvements. In fact, we've regressed in some areas. And so that's not good. I've said this 1,000 times on our show. Personnel is not the issue. Personnel on this team is not the issue, with the exception of the offensive line. The offensive line sucks. But outside of that, the personnel is not the issue. This is a clear coaching problem, in my opinion. And I've been watching football a long time. This is a coaching issue. So do I think the coaching is going to improve from year? I mean, what you improve the offensive line. Okay. We had a somewhat better offensive line last year, and we still had some of the similar results. Like, how are we going to improve? The coaching has to improve. And I feel like going into next year, I feel like you're not going to be able to do that unless you bring in some some NFL experience, maybe like an assistant head coach that has some experience, an offensive coordinator that has some experience. But I don't see that happening. So I think you need to clear it out, get some new coaches in here, and I think that's the right way to move forward, in my opinion.
All right, so my last comment on that from what Rashad just said is I feel like our quarterback situation would be significant. If that was improved, I feel like that would be significant in having us be a better team offensively. Because we have Sam, who's thrown a million turnovers. You have PJ Walker that comes in there and throw turnovers. You have Cam Newton. He's not throwing a million turnovers. He's throwing some, but he's still doing too many. And as good as our defense is, if we did have a quarterback that was managing the ball, turning the ball over, I feel like we got good weapons in DJ Moore. We got good weapons with Robbie Anderson. Our running backs are pretty good. Can't talk about Christian McCaffrey. That's a whole nother show about what Christian McCaffrey can do and could do. But I feel like so many of these games, the defense was giving us opportunities, and then we're turning the ball over. And that's something that a coach, I mean, he can kind of put you in a good position if you're obviously throwing bad plays due to certain routes. Okay, try to get him throwing different kind of things. But I feel like that's also an issue, is the turnovers. We got a lot.
Well, yeah. Well, here's my thing about that, man. Like, prior to this season starting, the big thing that I kept saying, because everybody, when Sam Darnold came on the team, kept saying, well, Sam's going to be a vast improvement over Teddy Bridgewater. And I just kept harping, I don't need Sam to be an improvement over Teddy Bridgewater. I just need Sam to manage the game. But you can't manage the game if you don't even have time to manage the game. And then on top of that, when you do have time, you're turning the ball over. So then it became a disaster after we started playing some legitimate teams. And right. I mean, they're all NFL teams, but all
right. So I think it's a cascade effect, right? You can't talk about the quarterback turning the football over when you have zero time to throw the football, right? This offensive line is atrocious. And you go out here and you pick up Cam Irving, and you pick up Eflin the day one of free agency, and you would put any quarter. We've had
where you got to throw the ball away.
We have
you just don't throw it up and say, "Hey, let me give y'all the ball." Give them a short field to the defense.
I agree with you.
You just get chucked away. Make the smart decision, take the hit, and live to play another down. And maybe you're still not.
We've had 4 quarterbacks come through here, and we've had the same results. And one thing you have neglected to do, going back since 2008, right, is draft an offensive lineman in the first round. We haven't done it. That needs to be fixed before we talk about quarterback.
I'm not going to say we don't have more than one need.
No, but I'm not going to say that. But my thing has always been with the Sam signing. My thing has always been the fan base had a false perception about what Teddy was supposed to do. Like, Teddy's job was literally to be the bridge for the next quarterback. That was always like the plan. But you
guys are always as good with a play on words.
I try to be. Yeah. I try to be. Yeah, you have no idea, man. But so the thing is, man, it's just, for me, it's just, you got to give that man a chance to protect the football. You got to have good game plan, and you have to protect the line. And we didn't protect the quarterback with the offensive line, and we haven't put forth an effort. When you have Cam Irving and Pat Eflin as your first 2 options on the day when a free agency of who to get, and that has been my problem. It's been my problem the whole time.
I have literally a whole segment on the how we've neglected the offensive line and how it's cascaded into this. Like, we back ourselves into this wall, and I don't care who you put back there. Tom Brady went to the Bucs for a reason.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna have to move this topic along because obviously you guys don't like the O-line. But the question was about
we don't.
Oh no. The answer stays the same, man. Before the season, I thought six wins and below, he was out of here. But then the moves that he made, he's gonna get time for the third season, for his third year. I know a lot of folks don't want to hear it, but yeah. Oh boy.
There you go. Well, Sam Darnold start the game this season. Don't talk about the offensive line.
No way, we won't.
Just tell me if Sam will start.
Oh, absolutely, he's gonna start. He's gonna start. Like, he absolutely is gonna get an opportunity to start again. He's gonna. I mean, if he doesn't start this Sunday, he's definitely starting next Sunday. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah. And I think to the my fault.
Nah.
I was gonna say, yeah, and to your point, Cam hasn't really done anything to snatch it from Sam, right? So I feel like Sam is definitely gonna get the opportunity to play again. And like I said earlier, the dude is guaranteed $18 million next year. Obviously, you're gonna see what you got in this dude going into next season on whether you're gonna keep him around. So from a team building perspective, they're gonna want to see it, and I'm sure Matt Rhule is gonna want to see what he has in Sam Darnold. So yes, he will start next season or this season.
No, this season.
That's what.
I didn't see it coming. What was it, back November 12th when we signed Cam? Like, hey, you felt like this was definitely about to be Cam's team, but he's definitely struggling. And yeah, I feel like it's definitely a good possibility that we'll see Sam out there. Now, I can't say how excited I'll be. I think that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother show about what we should do if Sam's out there starting. But take a minute. If you guys, what do you think we would look like if Sam's out there starting?
The same we looked like before when he was starting near the beginning. Like, I don't think anything's going to change from that aspect. But like, one thing that I've always said, I've always felt like the QB win stat is like the most irrelevant stat in the NFL.
How much a QB wins?
Yeah, I think it's the most irrelevant stat in the NFL because you need so many things to work for that QB to get that win, right? So, and I think Cam is a victim of that right now because Cam hasn't won a game as a starter. And if that continues against Tampa, there's no way we don't see Sam once he's ready to go because of that, which is unfortunate because I really believe that the moment that Cam is no longer the starter is the moment it's the end of him as a Carolina Panther from that standpoint, and probably the NFL. Which is sad, like I just hate to see him go out like this, but because he hasn't won a game as a starter, if Sam comes back, I think that's what we're going to see. But it's
what have you done for me lately? I think
that's right.
Today, Cam's one of those people that, a lot of people either love him or a lot of people either hate him. And I feel like one of the unfortunate things about Cam right now is you still see a guy with so much talent, so much grit, so much leadership. I mean, you see like a lot of positives about him, but still, I think if you go back to what I feel like people are criticizing about for a while, and I feel like I've seen it, is his inconsistency throwing the ball. He's been, early on in his career, he was a little inconsistent, then he got a little bit better, and now he's back to being inconsistent, and then he makes poor decisions, and it almost takes away all the other great dynamics that he was bringing to the game. It takes away the great dynamics that he can run the ball for 70-some yards in the game, because then you turn the ball over, and now you're giving the other team some opportunity to put points on the board. So if he could get that fixed, and I don't know how much of an opportunity will, because now we know Sam's probably going to come back in, and like you said, Dave, how much of an opportunity will he get in the league if he doesn't finish well with Carolina? Because he sat at home, 12 weeks or so this season before Carolina picked him up. So, Sam will start.
I just real quick on the Cam Newton situation.
Are you throwing a hat?
Yeah, I had to, man. It's a lot of Cam slander going on right now. I really feel like we talk about Cam in isolation, his individual talent. But again, like we just got an offensive coordinator fired, right? Like, so that goes into it, right? You got an OC fired, you got another head offensive coordinator that never called plays in the NFL before. So an offensive coordinator's job is to put the quarterback in the right position to succeed, in the best position to succeed. And so I feel like, yes, is Cam perfect? Absolutely not. Does he have deficiencies in his game? Yes, but do I think Cam is the best option on this roster right now? Yes, and do I think Cam can win us games? Yes, but he's not going to do that given what's around him and who our offensive coordinator. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I think you can't look at Cam in isolation, bro.
No, I agree with you, but it goes back to the QB stat discussion, right? Like you can't.
Well, I'm gonna move y'all along here, because I got to get off at 27 minutes. I know y'all will keep going all night, but I don't have those same perks with my newlywed wife that y'all might have at y'all house. I'm trying to get
bro.
there.
Listen, bro. I don't know how thrilled my wife was when I told her that I might be streaming for 3 hours straight. I don't know how thrilled she was. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's get it.
Hey, the Bucks being shut out this past weekend mean that there's doomsday for the Carolina Panthers this Sunday, whether you have PJ Walker, Sam Darnold, or Cam Newton.
Bro, the Bucks could have won by 48, and it still would have been bad news for the Carolina Panthers this week.
Does it become worse? I mean,
yes, it does. It does. Yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
one thing I will say though, I looked at that injury tally, bro. That gives us a small ray of hope, but it still doesn't. But it doesn't change the fact that Brady is going to be angry. I mean, there's always an opportunity to beat Tom Brady if you hit him in the mouth early in the game. Like, I think that's always been Brady's Achilles heel throughout his career. You have to get to him, you got to hit him early, and you got to do it without blitzing, preferably, right? So if that happens, then we have a chance because Antonio Brown is probably going to be coming back, and Chris Godwin's out for the season. He tore his ACL. Leonard Fournette's going to be out, and Mike Evans got a hamstring thing. He might not be able to play next week. So we should be able to take advantage of this. It's just a matter of, can we take advantage of this? But we'll see.
Saints beat them with a glorified tight end playing quarterback. And that's, you know, that's called good coaching.
It's called good coaching. I'm gonna try to see if I can.
Wait. Oh, by the way, they didn't just only beat the Bucks with good coaching. They did it without their head coach. They did it with Dennis Allen, who was a former NFL head coach. You know, he coached the Raiders, but he didn't exactly have that much success as the coach of the Raiders. But they did it with a coordinator that ended up coaching the game because Sean Payton wasn't there, and they still pulled it off. But Dennis Allen he's been in the NFL for a while. He had a head coach opportunity with the Raiders, so got to be able to coach, man. Coach him up.
You got to be able to coach. Hey, I want to play this one clip that let me see if I can get this right. Y'all can keep talking for a second.
But yeah, man. So I mean, I think we got an outside shot, but it ain't a great shot. And the fact that it's at home doesn't help either.
No chance.
All right, I'm not even going to try to play this clip because
my man said no chance. You on your Vince McMahon today, Rashad?
Yeah, no chance.
That's what you got.
That's what I.
Hey, so earlier today, asked Coach Matt Rhule about how do you keep guys going in the right direction, considering that you're on a 4-game losing streak late in the season. His response was, just the first part was, man, I forget. Basically, I think he said it's not his responsibility. What did he say? I forget. How did he say it?
He said nothing. He said, I don't do anything.
Right. He said, I don't do anything.
Like the players do everything. I remember.
It's the players.
It's the players.
So since we're talking about coaching, I feel like Rashad doesn't mind talking about coaching and decisions that they make. Rashad, if you could share with me your thoughts on his response to making sure that his team continues to go in the right direction for these last 3 games here that we have after, 4 games in a row. We've lost maybe 9 of 11.
Yeah, I think Matt Rhule is kind of in over his head at the moment. Like, I don't think he has, and that's how he answered it. He answered as honestly as he could because I don't think he has an idea of what to do. I don't think he has the answer to that question. I think he's tried all he can, and he tries his best to kind of, and he double talks a lot, right? So he'll say one thing, he'll say what he means, and then he'll walk it back and by saying something else. And so I feel like I don't know that I expected another answer from him because this is kind of what I've expected from him all season. It's what I've seen from him, and I just don't know if there's anything he can do as a coach to improve. We just either the game plan works or it doesn't. Either the scripted plays that we go out there and do work or they don't. If they don't, we lose. If they do, we win. And I just feel like that's all he can do. And I feel like that's where we are as a franchise. I mean, we're talking about 4th consecutive losing season. first time in franchise history. Like, this is just where we are as a franchise, bro. It sucks.
So for me, when he answered that question, I was thinking, well, I was really wanting to hear you say something about we daggone sure better play well. We're gonna put these guys in a position. I mean, something to say, like, what kind of, like, because he talks about the brand, right, and trying and building this culture, and to me, that's an opportunity. Like, these last 4 games is an opportunity for you to continue to certainly get into that brand and make sure that your players are motivated, make sure they understand, like, hey, we have pride to fight for. Letting these guys hear that you saying that we have pride to fight for. We have respect that we want to fight for, and things like that. And he didn't say any of that. So that's where I kind of put down my head, saying, oh man, I really, really would have liked to hear something that said that you expect, what kind of level you expect from these guys at the end of the season. Because I know Hassan Reddick, when we talked to him maybe last week, he talked about the fact that you want to put something good on film. I mean, I don't expect the coach to say this because he wants players to stay there. But Hassan Reddick talked about the fact that, hey, to my other teammates, you want to put something good on film. You don't know if you're going to be here next year. You don't know what, it's a business, and you want to give yourself that opportunity to continue to play in this league and go somewhere instead of just getting out because, you just coasted this last part.
So here's my thing, man. And we got to talk about this whole thing about this brand, right? What is the brand? Like, and I've always felt this way, right? And I agree with you from the aspect of, yeah, you should be trying to motivate your players and say, you better get out here and do what you got to do. But I've come to the point that he ain't John and he ain't Ryan. Like, I think the way that he tries to motivate his players might be working for his guys, but I question whether or not it works for the other guys, if you get what I'm saying. Like, the guy.
I didn't get that, Dave. I'm sorry. I didn't get that one.
Like, when his guys are the guys that he brought in. Like, you know what I'm saying? The guys that he knows from Temple, the guys from Baylor. I think he got that cover from his guys. Does he have that cover for the other guys? The ones that are still here from the Rivera regime. The ones that, that didn't go to Temple or Baylor that he coached up at some point in his career. That's what I'm wondering about right now. I'm just trying to understand, like, they always talk about this brand, and I'm like, yo, I knew what Ron Rivera's brand was. I knew what John Fox's brand was. I don't know what this guy's brand is. That's my thing.
And Chris, it's more surprising too, because this guy's supposed to be the rah-rah guy, right? He's supposed to be that dude that's supposed to be able to get the guys together. Like, he doesn't have an offensive or defensive specialty. He's a people dude. Like, you're supposed to have those messages to come out there and say, yo, let's do it. Like, you're supposed to have me ready to run through a brick wall for you. And if for him to go out there and say, no, I'm not going to do nothing. Like, it doesn't surprise me just based off what I've seen this entire season.
And, Rashad, he did say, like, I remember his initial press conference. They had it in a dome. They had it on a stage, and it was a really big presentation, if you will, of, hey, Coach Rhule is now the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And I remember lots of people left that said, like, they felt like they just left church. They felt like they were motivated. This guy had a good speech. And, when you say that, then, yeah, that even further makes you, deflated when you see his response today to that question. Still tried to bring it up. My computer don't want me to do it. But if you guys want to go to Panthers.com, go to about the 17.5-minute mark of that press conference. You'll see him respond to that question. Or for that matter, some people put it on Twitter and, of course, twist the words. just want to put him saying, I don't care for anything.
Chris, can you post the link again? I don't know if it's up, because I think somebody has a question in the chat. So KPM has a question in the chat, I believe.
Let's try to do that, because I didn't pin it.
Yeah, no worries.
I don't know if you guys know, but my newborn's like 3 months old, man, and I still kind of sometimes be struggling. So
nah, you ain't sleeping, bro. It's okay. We get it. We get it. We get it.
The link's out there.
I don't miss that era.
I didn't know I was going to be back in this era, but I love her, and I love him, and I love him. Let's see here as we give people a chance to. We got about 15 more minutes. So let me see if I can get some questions to throw up on here for you guys. for everybody as I continue to try to get these things going on good.
Saw your Terrace Marshall interview, by the way. It's pretty good. It's taking some notes.
Taking some notes.
Yeah, taking some notes. You know, we got to work a little bit harder to get our interviews, bro.
Hey, man.
Listen,
it ain't easy. It ain't easy for nobody right now because the way that things happen, like those interviews are, were my bread and butter. It was a lot to get back to get those interviews. And even like right now, I can't even tell you who I'm gonna talk to this week. I can tell you that I'm trying to talk to somebody, but it's tough. And the whole COVID thing and how it has to be worked out and where they put us at to make those interviews. Like when I get a chance to interview somebody, it's usually like about a 4-hour day. Just getting that together to get that. But I'm glad you checked it out. And I will play a promo. Appreciate you saying that so I can play a piece of it. But KPM, give me a thumbs up, man, if you're ready to come in and ask your question. Okay. He gave me the thumbs up. Here you go.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
We can hear you.
All right. So I got a question for Dave and Rashad.
But it's my show, man. I'm just kidding.
Chris, we had that conversation last week about the draft, and you're like, oh, who are we going to re-sign? So I want to ask them, we got a big list of free agents coming up with $30 million to work with in cap space. Who are you targeting to bring back next year, and how can we convince these big-name free agents to stay?
Can I go first? For me, it's Reddick. Reddick is the number one guy you need to re-sign. And if you can't re-sign him, you tag him. Reddick's number one. By far. I don't think it's close. He's numero uno for me.
It's got to be Reddick. But I will say this, he mentioned the $30 million in cap space, which is accurate. If you don't know, you're talking to Samir Suleiman's assistant over here, because I am the man when it comes to the cap. And so I feel like you can definitely finagle the numbers, right? You can restructure some guys. So I wouldn't get caught up too much in the 30 million flat number, because there's definitely ways to free up more money. But I got to get Gilmore back too. Gilmore is somebody I need to get back. If Reddick is one, I mean Gilmore might be 1B, because I got to get him back. I feel like he's still talented, and you can find a spot on the field for him. You need that leadership, especially with the young guys like J.C. Horn and C.J. Henderson. You need a guy like Stephon Gilmore back there. So he's second on my list if we're talking about free agents to bring back.
Oh, we got the same one too, buddy, because those are the two. Like those, you start with those two, and then we can have a discussion about whether or not we can extend DJ Moore, or we can hold off on that, because this might be our best chance to get him at a cheaper rate. Because if he decides to play that 5th-year option and balls out of his mind, he ain't coming back, guys. But
hey, this is just a funny comment here, if I can get here. So this was about me getting some not sleeping, and says that so the rest of us live in a nightmare. But nah, we all alive. We all going through this thing.
Look, man, it took every body of my being to watch that full game. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah.
It's much harder to watch from the house, man. Much harder to watch.
I was in New Jersey. I was in New Jersey over the weekend. So
you could have made it just a few more hours up.
No, I was not going to Buffalo. I have traumatic memories in Buffalo. Cause I've been to a game in Buffalo. I was in the EJ Manuel. I was at the EJ Manuel game when Riverboat Ron was born.
Dave from the 90s saying, what's up to you guys?
What up, Dave?
Appreciate it, Dave.
Hey, so if you guys are still watching and you haven't done the phone thing where you can turn it sideways and go visit their website on YouTube, please do so. Hit the subscribe button, please, please, please. Some more love for PNP, realistic, objective, and factual. They keep it real. They call it the way it is. That's why they're the best content creators out there. The gold standard.
Appreciate it, Grandizer. We appreciate it, and we're not retiring. Shout out to Pat.
Yeah, no, we don't got no. We don't. We try our best not to just spew out, hot takes. We really try our best to back our stuff with facts, statistics, and trends and analysis. So that's what we try to do. Sometimes Dave he go rogue sometime, but
I was rogue about a lot of things and they worked out.
it's true. It's true. Clock is right twice.
I mean, at least my rogueness has some logic towards it. But I never get credit when I'm right. But it's fine.
He doesn't really have a question, just a comment. Carolina will never be respected like the Pats, the Steelers, the Ravens. But 27 other teams are in the same boat.
That's true.
Will we ever get there?
I mean,
I gotta feel like there's some hope, right? Because we got this new owner.
Yeah, but the thing is, the problem is the new owner. This new owner came from an ownership group historically that hasn't really done that. Like
the Steelers?
No, but think about the minority owners from the Steelers that owns the team right now. Jimmy Haslam, Cleveland, the Browns. They're just now figuring it out.
Well, they had to go to places where teams were put up for sale. I mean, they just couldn't take their money and purchase whoever they wanted. So that's a little bit about it. You know, teams that come up for sale typically aren't the top tier teams. I don't think Jerry Jones is ever going to sell the Dallas Cowboys. He's probably going to pass it off to one of his kids, right?
Dan Snyder might have to sell his team eventually. The way this thing is going, man. And I know people can talk about how the franchise is as a whole, but the Washington football team has a lot of history. That would be a big get for somebody if Dan Snyder has to sell the team. Big get. But
he can't go there. He's already got the Panthers. But I just feel like there is hope. I'm not saying that we're definitely going to be there, but I feel like if you want to have hope, a new owner can give you hope.
I agree.
His first decision isn't working out well, but is he like really driven to build something? The changes that he's made just operationally and functionally at this franchise since he's been here has been mind-blowing compared to the things that happened when Richardson was here. Having the soccer team, having they've gone cashless at the stadium. They've done so many renovations, putting a new digital electronic board. I know this stuff is kind of like fan experience, but then he's also doing what? He wants his players to have the best facilities in the NFL, and that helps you draw people. So he got that dome built right away. So now they have the bubble where they're able to do stuff. He's getting the facilities built down in South Carolina. So in terms of what all he can do, and he's not trying to be an owner where he has his hand like deep into the GM type role, but in terms of just trying to create and give people vessels to be successful, I think this billionaire is definitely giving all he can from that perspective, other than saying like, hey, I'm not a football genius, but I'm trying to put my team functionally in that position.
Let me say this. No, I don't. Let me say this though, because I feel like money obviously is not going to be able to buy you a championship. The richest owners don't equate to wins all the time. So, and I agree with you. Your great things that he's done around the Panthers organization, especially from the front office standpoint, and restructured that whole thing. The facilities, so all the stuff you just listed were great. But we've also seen this man come up here and say, "Yo, if Fitter and Rhule don't agree on something, then I'm the tiebreaker." Like we've heard him say that. Like we've heard him dive into some personnel things and heard him say some things, and maybe he's backing off of that now. But we've heard him talk. We've heard about him talk about when Rivera was here with a 3-4-4-3 scheme. Mm-hmm. We've seen him dibble and dabble a little bit too much. So to say he's completely hands off, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, see that the thing is, I agree, Chris. I'm hoping that things will change, but the thing is, to have like that type of history, like the Steelers, the Ravens, the Patriots, that takes time. That takes time, and that's a level of patience that sometimes this fan page doesn't have. And it also takes time to give some level of patience from the decisions that the coaches, that the ownership makes too. So if we have a lot of people within this fan base that wants Rhule out here, and I was one of them, and I still am. But we got to understand at some point there's going to be some level of patience that has to be had. Otherwise, we'll be ending up like Jacksonville out here firing coaches left and right. You know what I'm saying? Like we came into the league the same time as Jacksonville. And I literally was having this, I was talked about this earlier. When you compare the early success that we had versus Jacksonville, you would have thought that Jacksonville would have been it. Like Jacksonville would have probably ended up being a better franchise. When you look at it over a 27-year span, we got them beat. The only thing they have is that they have consecutive. Yeah. The only thing they have against is yeah. You know, like 10 out of the last 11 years, they've had double-digit losing seasons. You know what I'm saying? They have back-to-back winning seasons, though. They did that a few times. but they have 10 out of the last 11 years double-digit losing seasons. And the one winning season that they had, they were like a game away from they were a couple plays away from the Super Bowl with Blake Bortles, right? And the rest of them double-digit losing seasons in the front of it and behind it. And it looks like it's not going to stop. So like we haven't been at that point, but we're a show about trends, and we have 3 consecutive double-digit losing seasons right now. So
is Cam still one of the best?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yes.
Yes.
Does Zach Wilson still start? Does Zach Wilson start a game in the NFL? Yes.
Hey, lots of love here for you guys.
Yeah, we told the crew we was coming on. We told the crew was coming on. So
they're supposed to be subscribing too if they haven't already.
Hey, Anthony Rochelle, you said you wanted to be on the show yesterday. I wasn't able to get you on. If you're watching still, we got about 5 more minutes. If you want to click on that link, we'll bring you on and get your question answered if you have one.
But yeah, man, it's been a crazy season. I will say that. I mean, it's been a crazy season.
Just gotta get the right people in the building, bro.
I know. I'm with you there.
Fine. The talent is not the issue.
It's been exciting covering the team this year.
I know it had to be a roller coaster ride for you guys. I mean, we started 3-0. Then the bottom fell a little bit. Then it looked like we were trying to turn it around, and it fell again. And then Cam came back. Everybody was all happy and jubilated. Beat Arizona, and man, at 8:30, I'm gonna have a long discussion about that Arizona win. I'm gonna tell you that right now. After what happened to them yesterday with Detroit, I'm like, man, what was that? Like, what was that? But then Detroit is a prime example, and I said this on Twitter earlier today. Like, Dan Campbell has those guys playing hard for him every single week. Every single week. With the team that's not as talented as us.
Nope.
Injuries galore. Every single week has them boys ready to play. And they want to play for that guy. And I'm like, yo, like, I don't want to say Rhule lost the locker room, because I don't think he's completely lost the room, but I'm worried. I'm concerned about that. Yeah. Taylor's on it, man. I wouldn't be shocked if he lost a portion of it. Cam is better than Baker. That is a fact. Shout out to Slim. Yeah.
How about that one? We got no patience?
No, we got patience. We have patience for the right people. You get the right people in the building, we got plenty of patience. You got to show us something.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, we got patience. It's just, look, man, we've gone through the whole diatribe of what we should have done with certain players that aren't playing for us currently right now due to injury, but, you know, we could get into that another day. We can always come on another day and get into those things. We got a whole off season, baby.
we do have a whole off season. Hey, so we're about to wrap it up. Before we wrap it up, I got to do some fun stuff, right? You know why I got to do
You a good guy, Chris. You a good guy.
That's why I gotta do some fun stuff.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So before I go, hey, I always do my weekly interviews with Panther players. Invite you guys to check them out. Last week was Terrace Marshall Jr., so I'm going to play a quick clip of that. If you haven't seen it, just click on the videos on my channel. There's a category called one-on-one player interviews, and you'll see this here. So let me go ahead and cue up this tidbit for you real quick.
Man, my first game. My first game
as a freshman.
A sophomore. I was 15 years old. I didn't even start that game. It was a senior starting over me. Yeah. And I mean, we was kind of rotating, but he was, getting more reps than me from the preseason and all that. But, I mean, I got in my first play, first touchdown.
What was the route?
It was go route. It was go route, first play. I got in there. I remember the play was, I think it was called void right. I think it was blast right pass. I remember that play.
Okay, how
go route?
How far?
Score. It was like 75 yards. Yeah.
Was it mostly run after the catch or pretty?
After the catch.
Okay.
I caught it after like 30 yards, and I just ran in, and then that game I went for I was like 6 catches for like, was it like 197.
Okay.
2 touchdowns.
So that was my interview with Terrace Marshall Jr. That's out there. Really cool dude. Hey, I like to say I'm the man of the people. Cody gave me that nickname. What that means is I love working for fans. Anybody that's out there that got a question about this team, players, coaches, let me know. I will do my best to get those questions answered and put them out there directly for you anytime that I can. Of course, there's a little filter to it. I ain't going to ask Rhule why he makes stupid decisions, but I'll formulate it.
Especially to keep your credentials, man.
I got to keep my credentials, but I do love working for you guys. Hey, Terrace Marshall Jr., let's talk about him before we close out. We got let's each give about 30 seconds. This guy, to me, since he got that concussion, has just been MIA. Last game, which was Atlanta, I think he had about 40-something snaps, didn't get any targets. Yesterday, his snaps decreased to about a dozen or so. He did have a target, but this guy is disappearing more and more each day. I've asked Rhule about him. He said he just got to grind it out. To me, I don't know what that means. If you're running a route, the quarterback just has to throw you the ball. It's not like you're blocking and you got opportunities each week to do something. You know, the ball has to be thrown to you. But you guys have any comments about Terrace Marshall?
I got one comment, and I'll just leave it at this. Coaching.
I mean, I was going to say that. But
let's change Rashad's name to coaching.
No,
dude,
but
it's deplorable, man.
All I'm going to say, I will say
if you
this.
said that, my man Robbie Anderson would be like, what is what? Can you repeat that question? And I love Robbie. He got
Robbie. Shooters. Man. You got to be careful, bro. He's got shooters.
Be careful with Robbie, man. It's my guy.
Shooters, man. But for me, it's he wants to play the vets, man. He's in play the vets mode still. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Like, he wants to play the other guys. He wants to play his vets. He's not trying to play these young guys. The same thing with offensive line, which is why Christian ain't getting no love like that, or Deontay Brown's not getting no love like that. He's at the point. They legit. I think Rhule still thinks they can make the playoffs. I really do.
Hey, but Terrace had like 40 snaps last week.
Well, now he only has 12.
He had 8 snaps on Sunday. It's coaching, bro. You don't even you're not getting dudes involved. It makes no sense going. And just to kind of divert a little bit from Terrace, Deontay Brown. I mean, one snap all year. It's just you have no sense of development. You're not developing these young guys. When we first got this class, we were all excited about all these guys: Terrace Marshall, Deontay Brown, Shi Smith, all these cats. Man, we was excited about all of them. And it's unfortunate how throughout the season their snap counts have just decreased. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, Shi Smith really got gone. But all right, you guys got a show at 8:30. Let me go ahead and start to wrap this up. So, hey, I put Dave up there.
I'm the star, man. You kick
me
off.
You are the star.
You know why? Yeah, I know I'm Scruff McGruff and all, but man, don't do that, Rashad.
Now let's go back to this view here. Hey, so again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to all the people that came over from Panther Nation Podcast and checked us out. Thanks, Dave, big time. Thanks, Rashad, big time. Hey, I'm gonna invite all of you that are watching, Dave, Rashad, and everybody that's watching. Last home game is this Sunday at Bank of America Stadium. Me and Lauren go live pregame at about 11:30, and we are at the North Gate. If you are going to be at that game, you want to stop by and say hello, even jump on the broadcast, would love to meet you and say hello to you and make you a part of the show. Panthers Nation Podcast, extremely large network that they have, extremely intelligent guys, well thought out guys that are over there operating things, very, very smart. I was trying to do all my notes because I'm like, I got a big one tonight. I got some very smart guys. So invite you to check them out. I'm going to let you guys say any closing remarks that you want before we get out of here.
Go ahead, Dave.
All right, man. Appreciate the love, Chris. And for those who are part of PNP, part of the crew, and hasn't subscribed yet to Charlotte Vibe, y'all need to. He's got some really dope content from that standpoint. He works hard for us, man. He out here with these credentials. He can ask the coaches and the players questions that we're not able to do. So absolutely, you're doing good stuff, man. So keep at it, man. And I could go through all the socials and all that, but if you want to check us out, if you've never seen us before, just check us live. We go live in about 30 minutes. So just check us out.
And real quick, shout out to Lauren, man. I know we missed her. She hit me on Instagram. Shout out to her. We do plan to have both of you guys on our show in return so we can get the full Charlotte vibe experience. And also, Chris, I think you've seen it a couple times in the chat. We got this thing going called March on Mint, and we may develop a march on Mint Street to voice our opinion. And we're gonna need Charlotte Vibe to cover this, because once we develop this and march down Mint Street to let David Tepper know that we deserve better, we're gonna need you to cover it. So march on Mint. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Okay. Thousands of Panther fans, letting our voice be heard.
I don't have an outro yet, so we're just gonna say to everybody, thanks for watching. See you.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.